Welcome, everyone. Good evening, good morning, whatever time of day you listen to this or watching this. My name is Coach CJ. I have Coach Jerry here to my right and Coach Ballard, and we are your Sideline Heroes. This is our first official podcast introduction episode, just to get to know us and talk about what the podcast is going to be about as we go on throughout these episodes. Right now, we start in the middle of the football season, so our perspective is going to be a little different. Rather than the beginning of the season or off season. So hopefully you can rock with us on that. So we're going to get into quick introductions real quick. I'll start with myself. My name is Coach CJ. As we do our introductions, we're going to start from playing history, high school, college, pro level, because we do have some pro level experience on this couch. Get into our coaching history or our coaching resume, where we at right now, and we'll get them moving. So start with myself. My name is Coach CJ. My high school career, I played at Mount St. Joseph High School, 3-year varsity starter. Ended up going D2 to a university in North Carolina called St. Augustine University. Did my 4 years, was a 3-year starter. Got my paper, got up out of there. As I graduated, my first 2 years out of graduation, I coached at North County High School as the offensive line coach. That was a good experience. Got my feet wet, good stepping stool. Stepped down from there after 2 years. Ended up getting offered a job at Severn School, where I'm currently at right now, located in Severna Park. We compete in the MIAA B conference. I'm going there my 4th year down currently, and we ripping and rolling. We are back-to-back C conference champs. Now we in the B conference. Last year we lost in the semifinals. This year we're going for a ring. We just got a big win this weekend, so we're going to continue that momentum going. Next we're going to introduce Coach Jerry.
What's up, everyone? My name is Coach Jerry. Started my playing career at Perry Hall High School, class of 14, the golden class of Perry Hall High School. Had a really great season there. Was blessed to be offered a scholarship to Fairmont State University. This is a D2 school up in West Virginia. This is where I met Coach Ballard as well. And some special times in Fairmont. Spent all 4 years playing there. 1 year All-American, 3-time year All-Conference player. And then was blessed with the opportunity to go to the Ravens and the Eagles rookie minicamp. And then after that, I found myself on the Canadian field somewhere up in Vancouver with the BC Lions for a couple of months in the preseason. But with all that being said, didn't really shake out how we wanted it to. So returned back to Fairmont State University, and that's where I started my coaching career as a defensive analyst and a GA on the staff there under Rev Holtz. It was a great experience, and that's where I kind of fell in love with the coaching. And then, getting my paper and getting things done up there at Fairmont. Went back to the alma mater at Perry Hall High School. Started coaching at the high school, again, as a DB coach. And now we're going on year 3. I'm taking over as a full-time defensive coordinator. And it's been a journey. It's been a journey because we are rebuilding this year. But the past 2 years, we did make some waves in Baltimore County and the state of Maryland. Finishing as the state semifinalists 2 years in a row, quarterfinalists, I should say, 2 years in a row, and just not getting over that hump. So here we are, Sideline Heroes. I'm going to have to pass it over to Coach Ballard, and he'll get his introduction in.
What's up, y'all? Coach Ballard here, graduated class 2014 at Glenburnie High School. Went to Fairmont State University where I met my guy, Jerry. Came in there as a preferred walk-on, 4-year starter, 2-time all-conference. Left with a criminal justice degree and a minor in sociology. Ended up coaching Fairmont along with Jerry back in 2019. Fell in love with coaching, decided to come back to Glenburnie High School, currently the defensive line coach, also JV boys basketball coach. Also spent 3 years coaching girls basketball where we won state championship. So, shout out to the Sideline Heroes, man.
Man, we got a lot of knowledge on this couch, on our podcast with us. And before we continue, I just want to ask you a question real quick, Coach Jerry, because I don't have any pro experience myself. So I just wanted to ask you, for the younger athletes out there, before we continue to get off on a tangent, what was different in your regimen or your eating, your working out to get to that? Even being in a rookie mini camp or being in preseason for a couple of months at BC Line, what did it take a little extra to get there for the younger guys who just think it's Instagram and all this other?
First and foremost, I think Sleep can agree here. Shout out to Coach Woodman, Coach
Trash
Chrissa,
woman.
Greg Richmond, and Ron Rankin.
Yeah, shout out to all those coaches.
Those coaches, that coaching staff was very, very special at Fairmont. And we came in, I think it was the summer or the spring of 2015 when they came in. And it kind of laid the law down right then and there. And it kind of didn't change for like the next 3 years. It kind of was your expectations at practice was set high, your grades, your academics, and then putting the work off the field, weight room, et cetera, and treatment and stuff like that. So being consistent was one of those things where it was ingrained in us at Fairmont very, very early. So when I left Fairmont and was exposed to first the Ravens Ricky minicamp for those 3 days, it didn't really feel any different because practice was structured the same. Your effort was and expectations was the same. The only thing that was different, really, we were getting, and again, it may be different on the D1 level, right? We're coming from D2, so like right after you get out of film room, they give you something like a protein shake or a snack. But as far as the schematics, as far as the way practice was broken down, expectations in practice, scout team, this, that, and third, it was all the same. And I tell the guys that I coach now, it's like, if you want to get to that level, you got to start acting like you're at the level right now. So when you get there, you know what I'm saying?
For real, that's facts.
So when you get there, it's not a big starstruck. It's not, oh, I'm going against Zach Ertz. I went against Zach Ertz personally in Philly. And I go, a lot of Zach Ertz, if you see this, you know what I'm saying? You know what happened on that en route.
Yeah, you know what happened.
But yeah, it was like, you know, but it was, and I told the guys, like, yeah, I went against Zach Ertz and I got a pass deflection. I would have never thought I'd be able to say that until it happened. You know what I'm saying? So that's when I knew, like, I belong. You know, when you start making plays. I will say that I dropped a pick at the Ravens rookie camp that kind of, you know, I dropped the money.
Plenty of picks dropped at Fairmont too.
I think it was Trace McSorley.
That's good enough.
Right.
Yeah.
But when I dropped the pick, you know, Wink Martindale made me stand up in front of the team in film room and was like, this is how you play, you know, deep over on a boot action. You know what I'm saying? This, that, and third, you're in great position. He was like, where are you coming from? I was like, Coach, I'm an invitee coming from Fairmont State University, D2. He was like, see, I need to start going there a little bit more to look after guys like you. So I'm like, all right. So now I'm like, yeah, this is where I belong. But again, coaching point, I tell my guys, like, you have to start acting like you're there already. So again, when you transition, you're moving already. You're not like, you don't have to adjust. And we've seen it in Fairmont, man. We came in with a class of 51. And I'm talking the first week, got like 16 people getting cut, maybe 32 dropping just because they couldn't adjust, you know? And I know, like, being a high school coach now, I know their high school program really didn't prepare them for that level. So it's just, again, staying consistent in your preparation and then also being exposed to the proper preparation. I think that's a big one.
That's what's up. Real quick, before we get into what the podcast is going to be about, I want to put 2 questions in your head before we continue. One, for later before we end, who is your most influential coach throughout your career? You can give me a top 3 or you can give me a 1. That's all up to you. 2, what is your most memorable moment, whether it be a win or a stat or whatever that you had throughout your football career? You can think on that for a little bit. And I'll try to think on mine as I'm talking here. But what the podcast is going to be about pretty much, man, obviously we're Sideline Heroes. We're not on the field no more. We're on the sideline coaching, man. And we're in the stands critiquing and watching film. We're going to talk about sports, obviously. But we're not just sports, though. We're not going to pigeonhole ourselves. We're going to talk about sports, life, even some shade room gossip. I don't know, man. Whatever we feel is necessary, that's on our mind for that day, I'm going to feel good about it, and we're going to talk about it. Hopefully, you guys, we pique your interest a little bit. We're going to be posting on social medias, TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. So make sure you subscribe and follow and just communicate with us, man. Trying to widen our horizon and keep going. Coach Jerry, if you may have thought about the question a little more so far, 1, who is your most influential coach throughout your career, or 2, what is your most memorable moment throughout your playing career? If you
I can start with question one. I have two actually. And my first one, his coach was Coach Felix. He was my JV coach at Perry Hall High School my sophomore year. And he really taught, I would say, us the definition of winning and what that really looks like. How to keep an even keel on the field, because the football games go like this, right? There's highs, there's lows, but staying in that median the whole game through, it allows you to focus more on actually making plays, doing your job, instead of playing with emotion. And I'm not saying playing with emotion is wrong, right? You can use that, but when you play with emotion too much, you can get outside of your body and start making mistakes, mental mistakes, and so forth. So he really taught me the approach, right? And then I got to go with Coach Rankin at Fairmont State University. He was my linebacker coach for 3 years. And he wasn't a man of many words, but he got his message across. And he also broke down the game to a way where it was so easy to understand, so it allowed you to play fast, right? I came in as a safety. And I think my freshman year, that spring, they moved me down to like a nickelback / safety hybrid role that we played in our defense. And it was new to me, obviously, but again, being under Coach Rankin, he kind of allowed me to grow in that linebacker role to a certain extent where it was like I picked it up within the first couple weeks, and ever since then, we was just running with it, like just trying new things out, because I had a greater understanding of the actual position. Never played linebacker before. I played linebacker once, but I was like 10. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't like I was still known as a safety. So actually, and it's a little inside joke. Some of the DBs from Fairmont State University wouldn't consider me a DB. I would always consider myself a DB because I was a safety at heart. And I played that perfect hybrid role. So it's like, I'm in the you know what I'm saying? I'm in the passing room. I'm also in the box, so I got a best of both worlds, But yeah, Coach Felix, Coach Rankin, shout out to you guys. You guys poured into me, and I'm just trying to continue passing down that knowledge. The next question is my most memorable moment. This one's a little tough because I did have some moments, but I would say I can say two. All right, I can say two. The first one we played Urbana at Urbana. I think it was our junior season. I had a stat game. I had a sack, forced fumble recovery, pick six. I was going crazy. I had like 9 tackles. I literally filled up every stat in the sheet: tackle for loss, sack, fumble recovery. I was going crazy that game. Yeah, and a pick six.
Yeah, guys, you hear that? He was doing it all. He's in the box, and he's catching picks. Look, if you're wondering what coach is looking for, that's what it is, man. That's why he went. That's why he in the pro camp.
Also wearing number 41, which Jerry's the only person who makes 41 look clean. I can't lie. 41 is nasty besides Jerry.
There's a story behind it. We walk in first day of freshman year, we go into our lockers. I see 41 hanging up in my locker. Mind you, I'm a safety, man. I wore 20 in high school. So I'm like, oh yeah, I get a cool little low number. I see 41. I look to my right, I look to my left. I said 41, I took a picture of it. I'm like, damn. First couple of days I'm wearing it, I'm like, okay. I'm getting clowned on, obviously. You got a safety at 41. And if you're a football player, if you're a DB in the 40s number, people don't respect you.
Higher than 30 is like, 30s is pushing it. 30s is pushing it.
30s is pushing it. You cool with you stopping at 31, 32, 33. We'll stop at 33. But anything other than 33, people don't respect you as a DB. So I took that personally, and my coach was like, "Do you want to change the number?" I was like, "Nah, I'm gonna make it known. Like when coaches turn on the film, they gotta look for 41. You know what I'm saying?" So I think I did that. But we're not gonna talk about his. We'll talk about his story later. His story was greater than mine, but when it comes to the numbers, if you know, you know.
Got lucky.
But I'll go to the moment, right? The football moment. I said the Urbana piece. The second moment, it was 2018. We were playing our conference championship against Notre Dame College at home, and it was the D2 National Showcase. We were on ESPN3, and our punter it was a very, very close game. We were up by 4. I think there was 28 seconds left or something like that. And we were on the goal line, backs against the wall. And it was third down. second down, and my coach called me to blitz off the edge, and they tried to do a boot action kind of deal, right? I batted the ball down at the goal line, right? Cool. So now it's 3rd and goal, about 28 seconds left. Game is on the line. We call another blitz. They kind of try to run the same type of action, and I batted down again. So there's 2 pass deflections within 5 seconds, and that was 4th and goal. And I remember vividly that, shout out B Rough, the refs held us. Like, they really cheated in that moment. They threw a back shoulder pass. B Rough was perfect at coverage. I'm talking blanket as best technique you can use.
Shout out B Rough.
And the actual ref that was supposed to make the call said it was a clean play. But the ref, the back line, the white hat behind the quarterback threw the flag. And that wasn't his flag to throw, you know what I'm saying? So they get a fresh new set of downs. They obviously score on the QB sneak. And that's how we lose our conference championship as a senior.
Don't even make the playoffs.
Don't make the playoffs because of that. And we were 8-2.
9-2.
Yeah.
Finished right outside of the playoffs.
But I say that to say, right, you got a really high moment, you got a really low moment. Those 2 moments kind of really reflect on that. And again, I tell my guys this every time. I was like, you got to give your all at every play because you just never know. You just never know what's going to happen, what's going to be the outcome. And when you look back at it 10 years from now, I can say I did everything in my power to try to win the game or try to change and win the game or whatever. But it's some things in this world and life, it's just out of your control. You can't. How you going to react to it? You know what I'm saying? So that's what I use as a lesson. And I guess those are the 2 moments.
Man, I love that. That's amazing. Coach Ballard, you remember the questions?
Yeah. All right, so for me, it's a little different. I started playing football freshman year in high school. So it's not a lot of little leagues.
You ain't playing youth league?
I ain't playing no youth league. I had some medical issues, epilepsy. Grandfather worked a lot, so it was a lot of challenges growing up. But, we made it. You feel me? Shout out to my family, support system. Shout out to y'all. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, facts. Shout out to family. So I got 3 coaches I'm going to name. But I also got some honorary coaches I want to shout out. Shout out to Rankin. Shout out to Chrisup. Coach O'Shaughnessy. Met him my senior year of high school. My guy since. And shout out to Offit. Offit is our strength and conditioning coach.
Oh, yeah. I got to add Offit as well.
Yeah.
I got to add Offit.
Offit.
Honorable mention to Coach Woodman, but I got to add Offit.
Offit, if you know, Offit's more of a big brother.
Yes. Absolutely.
That's our guy, Offit. Without you, truly, we wouldn't be here. We probably wouldn't be friends how much we hate each other freshman year. How much I hated him. That's my guy.
Yeah.
But my 3 coaches, so Coach Fauntleroy, met him going to my senior year, transferred from Shepherd, currently the defensive line coach at Morgan State. Mm-hmm. He's probably the reason why I coach. After I crossed Alpha Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, me and him, the good bros. Yeah, so after I crossed, I got close with Fauntleroy because I never wanted to coach, never wanted to work in the school system. I already done twice, both of those things, so it's kind of contradicted myself. So got close with Fauntleroy. He started showing me more. He was a big family faith football guy, so I started looking at more outside of football. What can I do to give back? And his reason on coaching kind of related to mine. So, with him, he's probably the reason I coach. Next is Coach G. Rich. If you know Coach G. Rich, I hated Coach G. Rich. I actually hated Coach Fauntleroy and G. Rich. They both know this. It was beef, but crazy. Both of those my defensive line coaches, and both father figures to me. Coach G. Rich established confidence in me every day during practice. He kept telling me I'm not a loser. And I'm just like, man, what are you talking about, for real? I don't know what you're talking about. And then the older I got, the more playing, it was like, all right, now I'm starting to see what he's talking about. He's telling me, because I was a preferred walk-on. He came in here, redshirt freshman year. I'm not making the list of the travel guys. So he's telling me I'm not a loser. Like, yo, keep going, keep grinding. I see you working, but I'm new here. I got this list of guys, on this list. But when your time comes, go out there and be who I think you can be. So, it's hidden message from him. He established confidence. Shout out to G-Rich. And Coach Woodman. Coach Woody.
Can I interject? I'm sorry to interject. Can I interject?
Go ahead.
We talk about numbers, right? Okay. I want to interject and add this little tidbit from what Coach G. Rich fed life into Coach Ballard here. I think you wore 93. You wore 93. You wore 93. Again, he wasn't on the list, right, so to speak. Come our senior year, there was a myth at Fairmont State University that no one really wore the number one. It was retired. I think 2 years prior, we had a transfer from Virginia. I think his name was Darius Lee. He came in, he wore number one, and then it was Quincy Redmond who wore number one. Now, if you know those two individuals, those two were the hardest workers in the room. Those two were the most talented. Those two were just outstanding guys, right? So our senior year comes, numbers getting floated around. Everybody's pointing the finger at me. I'm like, nah, I don't feel like I deserve it. Lo and behold, Coach Woodman comes down and says, and I'm waiting for him to give his Coach Woodman bit.
I've never heard this story
comes down and says, I'm going to give the number one to Sleep. I said, perfect. That's the perfect choice. So when we talk about GOAT status at Fairmont State University, and everyone could attest to this.
Man.
When Sleep walks in the room, we say, yeah, Sleep, but we also go, bat, and he knows what I'm talking about. Bat. Because he got the stick, right? He's wearing number one his senior year, and that's a tremendous honor, right? As a D tackle, nonetheless, mind you, he's to the point where he can play every position on the D line. So you got to play D end, nose guard, D tackle, and he's making every single play that he needs to make. That's why he's wearing stick. That's why he's wearing the one. So when we talk about numbers, this is the GOAT right here. He's the GOAT right here. He's wearing number one.
I got lucky. I was blessed with great coaches and great teammates. You feel me? Just great coach, great teammates. I'm just being honest. But yeah, back to my last coach, Coach Woodman. Going my senior year, I was filling out scholarships. I've been filling out college applications to Bowie, Towson, Morgan. Coach Woodman was the only coach that actually gave me an opportunity to play football. And I met him one-on-one. He came in there at Glen Burnie. That's what I mean, like, God really got a plan for you. I walk into my head coach job. Mind you, I have 3 head coaches in 4 years. This is my senior year. Coach Woodson, So I go to his office after school. Coach Woodman in there. I know he's not there for me. He's probably there for Zeke Turner. Shout out to Zeke. Zeke. Big dog Zeke. Zeke's on the league right now, man. Zeke, you inspired Glen Burnie. So, yeah, I'm talking to Coach Woodman, walking to his car. He's like, yeah, I'll look at your film. By like 2 weeks later, he's like, yeah, you can walk on. The only coach that ever gave me an opportunity. So, old Coach Woodman a lot. Mm-hmm. And let me see, moments. Probably 2 moments. My redshirt freshman, I call it pick. But there's more to the pick, right? Like I was saying, I was not supposed to play. So it's like the first game of the season. We versus West Virginia State, I think. I'm telling like Jerry and everybody else, like, yo, like, coach not messing with me. You feel me? I'm not about to play. And he like, bro, shut up. You gonna play. Mind you, I'm on the last part of the depth chart, like literally the last person. So I'm like, all right, so fourth quarter coming. And I ain't gonna lie. I say this to this day. They was losing. You feel me? I ain't touched the field, so it wasn't no, I was losing, y'all was losing. I was like, all right.
Hey, we can see, ain't that the craziest spots at the half? Like,
it was, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah.
It's y'all.
Yeah. Yeah, y'all getting whooped. I'm talking about, I'm getting water from my guys, and they saying, everybody mad. I'm like, man, that's on y'all.
That's like you tie your shoes.
Yeah, that's what I was getting to. So I ain't even tie my shoes. I just come out there, lineman gloves. I'm tying my shoes like this. You feel me? So boom, fourth quarter come. Now Coach G is about putting the subs. I don't know if Coach G remember this, but yeah, that's when I was low-key beefing with you. But yeah, so he come up to me like, yo, get ready, I'm about to put you in. So now I'm telling everybody on the side, like, yo, I'm about to go in. I'm about to make a play. Man, next defensive drive, he points to a whole different floor. I got the poop face on. I'm like, man, I quit. Yo, that was a moment that hurt. But then, that's why God is good. You feel me? And it's going to sound crazy, but there's 2 injuries. I think Dalton and Dre got injured, so I was the next man up. So second game of the season, first game, we had it versus Concord. This how I knew the coach wasn't messing with me. I look at my travel bag. I got the wrong jersey number. I'm 93. That's what it say 90. So I go talk to trainer like, yo, this not my jersey. I get spazzed on. He talking about why you look, da-da-da. I'm like, I'm just going to wear the jersey. Yeah, so I finally get in, second game of the season, my first game at Concord, make a tackle. First back in, third game of the season, it's home, West Virginia State. Mind you, I got the lineman gloves on. I'm just out there tying my cleats. I catch a tip pass, get a pick. I would have returned it any other year if I had the right equipment, but,
Ill-equipped.
Ill-equipped. So got the pick. It was a good game. I had a good game. 2 games later, I was starting all that. So, that moment with the pick kind of was like my moment of like, oh, I can really play here. And then what also was like a moment to that, after I caught that pick, we went out after the game. We ended up winning. Everybody showed me love. Yo, congrats, da-da-da. So, seeing like that love was amazing. Like how Jerry said, the other moment would be seeing that I wore number 1, like coming from a preferred walk-on. Coach is telling me I'm not supposed to play to, my guy saying like I should wear number 1. So, that's probably my moments. I had a couple good games here and there, but.
I feel you. That's what's up. For myself, for my coaches, since I'm an O-line guy, all 3 of my coaches be O-line coaches. I'm speaking, this is a fact, I'm actually the only offensive guy sitting up here right now. These 2 guys are defense. I don't know, man. I don't know how we ended up in this scenario, but it is what it is. I'm rocking it, they rolling, My first coach is actually my pops. Shout out to Pops. Calvin Montgomery Sr. He was my first coach in football and youth football. He's my first coach, taught me the basics of everything I know. I watched him do it for years. He's a legend in Anne Arundel County. He's won ships. When people see me, they see my pops, they always ask him how he is. Shout out to Pops, man. You're motivating people. You don't even know who you motivating, man. So you're a legend, man. I just want to give you the flowers now. You are a legend. Second coach is Coach Blake Henry. For those who don't know Coach Blake Henry, he was my coach. I went to Mount St. Joe High School, so he was my coach at Mount St. Joe High School my freshman, my junior year. He was the only private school coach, really, that truly gave me an opportunity, especially being in the MIAA conference, one of the toughest conferences in like the nation. So being in that position, I learned a lot from him. He's another O-line center guy. Played football at Wake Forest and was in pro camp for a little bit with I think Atlanta Falcons, I believe. So Blake Henry, he's now the AD at Loyola High School at Loyola Blakefield. So shout out to Blake Henry, man. We just spoke a few months back, so you played a big part of my life. So thank you. My third guy is Coach Mike Vassell. He was my offensive line coach my senior year of college. He came for that 1 year, my senior year of college. Big dude, like 6'3", 6'2". Had played football at NC State. My O-line coach now that's when I really started learning. Like I knew the basis of O-line play, but when he got there, he really started like teaching like technique and the ins and outs and I knew a little bit, but he opened my mind some more. Just that D1 mindset that he had. He brought the D2 and he elevated us. Now we weren't that good as a team, but our O-line was pretty decent. Coach Mike Vassell, big dude. Taught me the ins and outs and the intricacies of the offensive line play, actual technique, learning different things of just the movements that you make. It makes a difference, and the angles you take, it makes a difference. So shout out Mike Vassell, man. I gotta call you. I haven't talked to you in a while, so I'll be giving you a call soon. My moment is not no like stat moment, like no pancakes or nothing. I had a bunch but it's like a funny moment. And it's not really about me. It's about my man. It was my left tackle. So we in a game and we D2. So We go to North Carolina Central to play. They D1. Everybody knows Central. They D1. So we're in there. I love playing at Central. We used to get our heads smashed, but the environment was good. The ladies look, the women look good. You know, like I enjoyed playing in that environment. In that stadium, it was like a real deal stadium. So we losing, man. But we driving to school. My man is my left tackle. His name was called Mark Hill. Mark, I'ma send this to you. I'ma shout you out, Mark Hill. No shout out Mark. He's one of the craziest dudes I've met, yo. No, but shout out Mark. I'm playing. Shout out Mark, bro. He's like, when I talk about mans in college, he was like a guy like you start with, you run with him and a couple of my other guys. But shout out Mark. But look. He's talking. He's a talker too. Like he'll talk trash all game. Like, and don't let him be getting the best of you, because you gonna hear his mouth all game. Even when he losing the rap, he gonna talk still. So he's talking trash to this one dude. And this DN, he's pretty good. DN's pretty good, man. They were at Central, so it was deep for like a Saturday night, Friday night, whatever day it was, right? He's talking. I'm like, Mark, just be quiet, bro. Like we're gonna whatever. So the guy he's talking to starts chirping back at him like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. They start frying each other on the field, like mid-rep, like, yeah, he ugly, blah, 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 right? Frying each other. So the dude is like, tells my man Mark, and he's like, on top of that, you built and look like T Grizzly, right? So when he said that, I started dying laughing. And my man's looking at me like, yo, what you, really? Like, you gonna laugh? So I'm like, bro, my fault, bro. We gonna back up the snap, boom, boom. No lie, bro. I got play later. T Grizzly, so okay, boy. The D was like, hey, boy, that's you? Like, no. Yo, I was crying. Yo, that was the funniest. Yo, Mark, remember that, bro. Oh my God, bro. The funniest talk you ever gonna hear. Oh man, bro. Like in the trenches, you talk about whatever. I remember talking to a dude at the end of the game about what we gonna eat after the game, like what you gonna what you get at this world? Like what you gonna do, bro? I don't know, bro.
I remember talking to them all 4 years. It was cool. You know, I hated them. Everybody hated them, but it was cool with me.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Every time we played against each other.
Is the talk with DBs and receivers the same? Like, no?
Maybe I was a hard hitter at one point, but at the same time, some of these kids don't want to be told anything.
No, social media kills these kids.
Be coachable.
Be coachable.
College coaches and coaches don't want you. I'm telling you. Be
coachable.
man.
You gotta be coachable. And a lot of them don't know what coachable means.
No,
that is true.
No, they don't,
so I think going into the next episode, I think we'll dive into that a little bit more, because
coachable for sure.
Coachable.
Telling you, man, I'm telling
That's
you.
huge. That's good. That's big for your resume. And a lot of that falls into like discipline and how you carry yourself around at home or around your parents and stuff like that. That's where it starts.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty much, I feel like youth ball is watered down now as far as like the coaching quality. I see a lot of guys just running sweep left and sweep right, sweep left. And sweep right. They're not teaching the scheme of let's hit this 4-hole or 6 or whatever.
Mm-hmm,
you know? But I'm not gonna get off on that tangent. I want to shout out a couple guys. I look at Perry Hall. You got 2 guys that I'm really fans of. Big Aiden, I've seen him in some of my 5v5 comps.
Aiden
this summer.
McCann.
How's the season going? You doing all right?
Yeah, he's doing all right. I'm just extremely hard on him, obviously, because we all see the potential.
Aiden's a big kid.
And there's a level where he reaches and he kind of like gets in his own head and kind of shuts down his effort a little bit. Yeah. And I'm constantly telling him like, yo, you're the man, you're the big man on ain't no room for this. Ain't no room for this. Let's go. Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
What's that, like 6'4"?
About 6'4".
He look bigger.
I'm about to say like 6'4", 290, 300.
Another guy you got, he's transferred this year, KG receiver.
Malachi Gatua.
I love him, bro. Like from when I see him 7-on-7, I was trying to get him at 7.
Yeah.
For all I love that.
And that's where we got him from, 7 on. I didn't really know too much of him until like.
Every ball if he's a jump ball,
it's a jump ball, and we've seen it. No, we've seen it.
Yeah, we've seen it. We've seen it.
He caught a couple bodies in practice. He caught a couple bodies at Parkville High School. We've seen it. So he's one of those guys that we look forward to building with. But he has to understand. Again, we all see the talent, right? He has to understand that his talent is less flashy, but he needs to be more of a leader.
Absolutely.
So he has to take on that burden. Like, I have the talent to be a great prospect, But without the coachable and leader characteristics, it's going to deter me from getting to where we all know he could go. You know what I'm saying?
Was he a sophomore right now?
He's a junior.
Junior, yeah.
He's a junior.
Another year is crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Couple guys in the brand, one shout out Chris, your brother.
Shout out to Bug, man.
Yes,
He
sir.
was out there on the Fan Hill days.
Yeah,
Oh my
man.
God.
Shout out to Bug.
Chris is a dog.
Is crazy. You know.
Chris is a dog.
Fan Hill.
Yeah.
Stay
You
tuned.
know,
Stay tuned.
He's out there. You know. I got Fufu. I got shout out to Fufu. You know, Fufu. I got
Yo.
Fufu.
Fufu. Oh,
See this,
man.
yo? Stop BSing, man. I see you at Fan Hill like 2 times. Yeah.
That's why I respect O-line and D-line, because y'all still in a way communicate with one another to a point where it's like y'all could switch teams and be cordial.
Literally.
Like y'all could, if you take a DB from a different team and try to put him on, it's gonna be beef. Yeah, like DB and receiver talk is
Yeah.
Like, and it's like if you get it, you get it. And I said it on the podcast a few months ago. Like, a lot of people won't understand the love if you didn't play it. Like, man, I didn't know Coach Ballard from a can of paint 2 years ago, but through football and coaching, he a D-line, I'm an O-line guy. We just ended up, you feel me? Like, it's just that, and that's what it's all about, though. All right. We want to just thank y'all for listening into our first official introduction podcast episode, the Sideline Heroes. We are about to outro this thing on out. And just regarding outros, my favorite outro recently, I've been into like the interviews and podcasts where Rashad McCants was on Tony Allen's and Zach Randolph's podcast or interview when he said I got 15 in the first quarter. I could drop 81. And then Tony Allen was like, what 81 you talking about, man? He said, Kobe's 81. He said, boy, it's out the mud. Like, favorite outro of all time, man. That was top 10. But our outro, man, we're getting out of here. My name is Coach CJ, man. It was a pleasure vibing with y'all today. Coach Jerry, Coach Ballard, anything y'all like to say before we get on out of here?
No, again, kids, take every day as a learning lesson. Again, yearn to be coachable. And just keep living life, man. Keep living life to the fullest. Always be grateful. Always be thankful. You never know where you're going to end up.
For the kids, man, reach out to coaches, teammates, just all information. Get as much information as you can. And this is off topic, but I want to say shout out to my boy Jerry and Whitney.
Congratulations, Jerry. Yes, sir, man. I love that.
I can't wait.
I love that. I hope the alignment seems like he's about to kick step. I had to teach him how to kick step.
But shout out to Jerry, man.
Yo.
Know Jerry since freshman year of high school, one of his groomsmen. It's really my brother, so
Are you next? Are you next to the kids? Are you next? Are you next? I'm not. I know I'm not. I'm not. Look, it is myself, Coach CJ, Coach Jay, and Coach Ballard, and we are your Sideline Heroes. Thank you. Peace.